ILUS. We did get a fat 10Q today, or more specifically yesterday after market close. And I want to touch on the share structure. First of all, the share structure, we are above 2 billion. This was updated yesterday, so we are above 2 billion in outstanding shares. The authorized shares, 3.5 billion. We'll see if in the future this continues to stay under, ideally under 3 billion. The share structure still, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the share structure. I believe the delinquent SEC reporting tag should get removed and we should be pink current soon. So, because they did file the 10Q now. And again, I think the share structure is fine. It's not as bad as, say, AITX. AITX can get a ton of volume, but it won't really move as much as, say, Ilus. So, float 1.6 billion, or let's round it up, 1.7 billion for all intents and purposes. So, a stock that can move pretty quick. Don't sleep on it. And let's touch on the 10Q. Let's see where the numbers are. We want the numbers. Okay, assets. I already looked through it. There were some big numbers. Inventory increased by 2x. Is that inventory? Yeah, inventory. Long-term investments went from 23,639,209 to 35,062,896. That was like what, a 50% increase in long-term investments. Whoa, is that tangible assets? Yeah, tangible assets increased, what, fivefold? Okay, assets increased. Where are the liabilities? Accounts payable. Yeah, so their liabilities, not much of an increase, which is good. We like to see liabilities go down, not increase exponentially with its assets. Net revenue. Here we go. Net revenue increased what? 3x? No, not 3x. Wait, is it 3x? No, about a little over 2x. So net revenue March 31st, 2024, 4,185,987 versus March 31st, 2023, 1.6 million. Cost of revenue went up as well by quite a bit. Cost of revenue also doubled. Well, as long as they keep their cost of goods sold less than their net revenue, we should be fine. But let's look at the operating expenses because, yeah, it costs money to make money, but what's their operating expenses here? Their operating expenses, more than doubled. It not tripled, but it more doubled. It went from 1.236 million to 2.966 million, so almost 3 million. So it more than doubled. Their operating expenses more than doubled. So their gross profit was 1.4 million. So they're not. Yeah, they're at a net loss of 1.5 million because their operating expenses really shot up. They actually ended up with a higher net loss of 400,000 this year versus last year, which is not good. I like companies that. Eh, hmm. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else? No, 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 no. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it. So they're not. That's a number to keep an eye on. If you're someone that keeps an eye on the financials, keep an eye on the operating expenses because their revenue is higher than their cost of goods sold. That's good. They're not selling it hot dogs at a loss, but but those operating expenses went up 100% plus, which is not what you want to see. Hopefully that doesn't continue, because if they because Because if that continues, let me get the whiteboard, the OnLight whiteboard. So what we don't want to see is, let's say red is operating expenses. So operating expenses do this. Then green is, let's say green is revenue. So revenue is going up as well. And then yellow will be our cost of goods sold. So something like that. Like you don't want to see the operating expenses double every single time their revenue doubles. Because then at that point, and their cost of goods sold is also going up as the revenue goes up. So ultimately, the math, if you add it up, it's you're always in the red. You're always at a net loss with if this pattern continues. Like they're just never going to hit profitability. For those of you who want to put your money into a company that actually makes money, just that's for you guys. So to keep an eye on those numbers as we go into the next quarter and the one after in 2025. What is this? 20. This is some old news. Old news. Anything new here? I'm trying to find anything new. See if there's anything here that might be important. 2024 convertible notes. Yeah, we already know about El Shola Gas. I think that's it. I don't think there's going to be much of anything here. Sometimes they sneak in a little snippet like, hey, coming soon, we're going to do this, that, or the other. Hmm. Nope, I think this is about it, guys. All of this is pointless unless payable notes. No, I'm not concerned about that. Okay, I think that's it. That there was not much. I was trying to see if they snuck in something interesting like, hey, in the near future we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna uplist. Because we know Ilus is gonna uplist after QIND and the other subsidiary uplist. At least I believe that's what they said. They're going to uplist their subsidiaries first, and ICE itself is going to uplist. Legal proceedings. Okay, I don't know if this has. Management believes the company needs to raise additional capital for working capital purpose. So, yeah, that it makes sense because they did increase the authorized shares. So we'll probably see more dilution. So if they dilute, I'm gonna buy a 005. That's what that means for the next run. Because these guys only drop like one PR a month, but out of those 5 PRs that they drop, uh, one of them usually sends it. So impact of acquisitions. Plan developments. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, let's read through that. Ilus reevaluated its business strategy and decided to divest its defense position to expedite growth in its emergency response and industrial and manufacturing divisions. This strategic move is aimed at optimizing the company's resources and focusing its efforts on areas that are expected to yield higher returns and have a more significant impact on its overall performance. Ilus aims to enhance its market position and deliver enhanced value to its stakeholders. Sure, buddy. Ilus is taking strategic steps to expand its portfolio. By mid 2024, the company plans to acquire additional ERT and industrial companies. So that should be coming up soon. Because mid 20, that's what that means. By mid 2024, so sometime in June, we're gonna get some PRs with regards to more acquisitions for their ERT and industrial companies. To support its expansion, the company plans to hire personnel in finance and legal, as well as appoint strategic advisors with extensive experience in the ERT, industrial, and manufacturing sectors. Our top priorities include consolidating our recent acquisitions, increasing production of emergency response products in the US, and completing the reverse mergers of SAML and QIND with national exchange listed companies in the first half of 2024. So SAML is the next one, and I mentioned this previously. QIND did not explode, so anyone holding QIND, unless you bought under 10 cents, you're in the red. If you bought above 10 cents, you're in the red. You're holding a bag. Because a lot of people bought QND thinking, oh, it's going to uplist, we're going to go to dollars, and that did not happen. In fact, it's the company that acquired QND that went 500%. So if Samo's going to uplist, if it's going to get acquired by a company, then sometime it's going to happen this month. So buy shares of the company that's acquiring Samo and see if they drop a hot PR that sends it to dollars. Really is one of the plays you can go for, but not that it's going to guarantee you money. Just for those of you who bought Samo, because I know there's people that bought Samo thinking, oh, when this uplist, it's going to go to the moon. But as we just saw, it doesn't mean anything. If anything, it's the company that acquires them that skyrockets. So there you go. So anyone who tells you, "Oh my God, this stock is uplisting, it's gonna skyrocket, it's gonna go to the moon," we just saw nothing happens. If anything, the only thing that happens is the other stock that acquired it goes up, and that's only because they dropped a PR. If they hadn't dropped that PR, who knows? It probably would have stayed under a dollar, I imagine. Furthermore, we intend to issue an equity dividend in the form of SAML shares to Ilus shareholders following our sale of ERT assets to SAML. So a lot going on this month. So we should expect a lot of PRs this month. I shouldn't say a lot. Okay, maybe like one or two more than usual. Let me put it that way, because they don't really drop as many as AITX does. So it's going to be a big month, and I think that's it. I don't think we need to go through. Yep, that's it. That's kind of the end of the 10Q. So this month's going to be a PR filled month, and the chart looks like it's ready to explode here on the monthly. It's at the end of a wedge on the monthly at least. So keep in mind it's the monthly, so it's still going to take a while to play out. It's not going to play out the next day. On the daily, we're still at that bottom at 008s. I already alerted that in the premium Discord as well. Let me see if I did alerted. Sometimes I forget because I keep track of so many damn stocks. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. On the 5th, I added 2,000 shares of here. Yeah, 2,000 shares at 0084 for a swing. We'll add if it comes down more. So I'm sitting pretty here at 008s. I think it's bottoming out down there. If it does come down to 005 again, I will buy. I will absolutely. I even have the buy target number 3 there in case it does come down that low. And then the optional stop loss, and here are your sell targets. Again, I do believe that Ilus is the one you want to be buying right now. And then when it runs, take profit. Whatever company acquires Ilus, I'm assuming Ilus is going to uplist through a reverse merger as well. So whatever company acquires Ilus, that's probably the one you want to buy shares in for the huge 500% run. If it's going to continue this, if it's going to, yeah, continue that pattern that happened with ASNS acquiring QIND. Let's look at ASNS before I go. So yeah, it had that huge pop, and now it's dumping as expected. So uh, I, what doesn't ASNS have to stay above $1 to stay on the higher exchange? And if so, what's going to happen if ASNS goes under $1 and it stays there long enough? Does QND end up back in the OTC? So I think I mentioned this. Like, keep an eye on all this because it's going to tell the story moving forward for Ilus. If these uplists just get destroyed, well, a lot of people are gonna they're gonna be they're if you're holding a bag on Ilus now, oh, it's gonna be an interesting month. That's all I'm gonna say. And yes, I just woke up. If I sound a little off, that's because I just opened my eyes and I'm like, let's look at this 10Q that came out yesterday. All right, guys, that's it for the video. As always.